Welcome everybody to Morello Sports Discussion. Today we have an interesting topic. We're going to be talking about the state of the running back position in the NFL and why they're not getting large contracts like a lot of the other positions in the league. Before we start talking about that, this is Morello Sports Discussion. On the road to 100 subscribers, 45 away. Sounds far, but we're going to get there soon enough. It's only me today, and as you can see, I'm wearing my Ramondre Stevenson jersey. Great running back. Thank God he's not on a expiring contract or a contract that he needs a long-term deal, because you know Bill Belichick does not give second contracts for running backs, just like these other teams that haven't been giving contracts. So a few days ago, long-term offers, the deadline was set for Monday at 4 p.m., and Saquon Barkley, Tony Pollard, and Josh Jacobs did not get their long-term deal. Josh Jacobs, obviously the rushing leader. Saquon Barkley, who's basically been carrying the Giants' offense ever since he got drafted, but they paid Daniel Jones instead, who knows. And Tony Pollard, who they basically don't have a running back because Zeke is gone. So they all have to sign now with the franchise tag, which is around $11 million, but obviously they don't want that. They want to be paid a lot more than that. A lot of running backs want to get guaranteed money, long-term deals, because when you're a running back, you're essentially sacrificing your body. It's a position where you get banged up all year long, and your durability is always a concern. So these guys are going to always want guaranteed money over a few years. But let's just say they tear their ACL, they're still going to get the money throughout the contract. So it makes sense for them to try and get these long-term deals. Some running backs get them, and some don't. It's probably just by the franchise and what they believe in. But before I'm going to talk about other people's contracts, I'm just going to put something on the screen right now that I saw the other day on Twitter that explained that the last around 15 Super Bowl champions, all their running backs have not been on long-term deals. So it is basically a proven fact that to win a Super Bowl, you do not need a superstar running back. You could get some of these guys that are on rookie deals because they're running backs. I mean, let's be honest. You're a fan right here watching this video. Name a starting running back in the NFL that's bad. I mean, you really can't name one. Running backs are basically a position where you just run up the field, get blocks, and basically all of them look great because a lot of it's their offensive line and a lot of it's their elusiveness, their speed. So there's really no such thing as a bad running back. Really the only such thing that can make you a bad running back is fumbling the football, which those guys are going to be out of the league before you know it, because there's so many running backs, and that's the other problem. There's so many running backs in the league that are trying to get a job. There's so many running backs in the league that, you know, are trying to get an opportunity. There's so many of them, you know, and that's probably why a lot of these guys aren't getting contracts, because you could win with a third-round pick. Because running backs in the NFL, I mean, for a running back, 26, 27 is considered old. They really don't have long careers. So when you're done with your rookie contract, they want to get that long-term deal right then and there, because you're probably going to be around 24, 25. And if you have a bad season the next season, when you're on like a franchise tag, you're probably not going to get that long-term offer, which is what a lot of these guys want and what a lot of these guys aren't getting. So, as you can see, guys like Derrick Henry aren't happy either, even though he's on a very long-term contract, and he's probably one of the only guys in the league that's actually worth it, because he just does so much for his team. Even though they don't win, he's just that type of guy. He's saying every running back's, fighting for what they deserve, fighting to get what they deserve. I mean, they do deserve it, but like all the points I just said, for a franchise's standpoint, you don't need a guy with that long-term contract. A GM would rather spend on other positions. Since running backs are very replaceable, you could easily get someone very, very good, and yes, very, very good, out of the draft. You can get a 4th round, 5th round pick right here. The guy I'm wearing, Ramondre Stevenson, he was a draft pick. He wasn't 1st or 2nd round. I don't think he was. He was in the later rounds in the draft. So, you got to find those gems like Saquon Barkley, great running back. And yes, he's definitely going to be worth more than a lot of these guys that are on the rookie deals. He does a lot for the franchise and carrying the offense. But, he's trying to command $15-60 million, which is obviously, or $15-60 million a year. And he's going to also want a lot of that contract guarantee. He's probably going to want 2 to 3 years. And he's going to want more than half of that guaranteed. So, it's just not worth it. I mean, other running backs you can see. Jonathan Taylor, you boost the organization, it doesn't matter, you're a running back. It's the franchise's standpoint. And as you can see in this article, there's no positional scarcity. There are too many good running backs. There's a lot of good guys in the draft. So when a franchise knows that you're 25, 26, you're inevitably going to decline at that age. I mean, there's really nothing you could stop it. These guys are getting younger. These guys are getting better. So, like I've been just saying, from a franchise's standpoint, you might as well get that 21-year-old because they can have upside. A guy who's 25, 26, he's just on his way down, and you don't have to pay the guy that much money. And, the difference between running backs and wide receivers in positions like that, wide receivers, they're not getting banged up as much as running backs, and because of that, that's why they're getting money. They just have to, run routes. They have to, know the playbook. I mean, the running back also has to know the playbook, obviously. But, a wide receiver, is going to be a lot more durable. That's what I'm trying to say. Than a running back. And, there's so many good running backs because let's be honest. I'm just going to put this in very simple terms. Running backs, they just run up the field, You kind of, I'm not going to say do what you want because that's really not a good way to say it. But, yeah, you kind of, do what you want. A wide receiver, running routes, it's a lot more, it's a lot, I'm not trying to slander anything about the running back position. Wide receivers, it's just a position where you have a lot of, you have to be a good route runner. You have to catch the ball. You have to get open. Running backs, you just get the ball handed off most of the time, and you're relying on your blockers and you're relying on your speed. So that's why wide receivers get paid, a lot. So I'm just gonna go on to here now. These are some guys. I don't know why this ad's in the corner. These are some guys that are on max contracts. Alvin Kamara, I mean, maybe he's on an overpay. He signed at 25, 5 years. He's going to get this contract until he's 30, which is crazy because at 30, I mean, we've already been seeing him declining. We already see him declining. $15 million a year. As you can see, guaranteed at signing, $22 million right there. Christian McCaffrey, 23 signed, 4 years, $64 million. I mean, yes, these guys are definitely, from a fan standpoint, they're definitely worth it, They're faces of the franchise, Alvin Kamara, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, $50 million, $25 million guaranteed. Christian McCaffrey, $30 million. Aaron Jones, $48 million. That's $12 million a year. Nick Chubb getting a lot of money. You see, a lot of these guys are on these big contracts. James Conner even, Bijan Robinson's on his draft contract. But, he's a top pick, so you have to pay him. You have to pay him more. But then you go down, and you see these three guys. You see these guys are not on the contracts. And it's probably the franchise's standpoint, like I've said 20 million times now, it's the franchise's standpoint of the running back position, as you can see. Cordell Patterson, he's 31 years old, getting a 2-year contract, $5 million guaranteed. But he's one of the few cases where he was a good kick returner, obviously, when he was with like the Pats and the Vikings. He's really becoming, he's becoming better as the age comes on. But that's not for most running backs, obviously, a lot of these guys, 25, 26, 25, 25, 24, 26, they're getting signed at I guess you could say the later stage of their career for most running backs. So do I think that Saquon, Josh Jacobs, and Pollard should be getting big contracts? It's basically on the franchise. I think they can be worth it, but history is proven that you do not need that superstar running back to win a championship. Getting guys at other positions have been more beneficial for the last 15 or so Super Bowl champions. So Saquon Barkley, to most Giants fans, yeah, it's a no-brainer signing for $15-16 million. But you can easily have Eric Gray in the backfield. He's no Saquon, but he could be playing for a rookie deal, and he's probably 50-60% of what Saquon is. But you have that money to spend on other positions because of the salary cap. And Josh Jacobs, he's the lead. Like I said, he was the leading rusher last year. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense to sign him, but the Raiders probably also have a running back who can easily be slotted in and play right then and there and look almost just as good. That's just how the running back position is. There's too many good running backs. Pull up the stats. Josh Jacobs. Let's go. Rushing yards, 1,600 yards last season. 1,600 yards. 1,600. It's crazy, right? You would think if a receiver got 1,600 yards, yeah, that guy's going to be signed. Let's be honest. That guy's definitely going to be signed. But it's the running back position. It's the running back position. And, I don't see any of this changing. I think I've tried not to repeat myself so many times, but there's too many good running backs. There's just too many good running backs. And there's no way to debate that. There's just too many good running backs. And, wide receiver is a very different position. Tight end, very different position. Offensive linemen's even getting paid, way more than running backs, But again, there's too many good running backs, and you can easily get the guy in the rookie deal, draft a 4th, 5th rounder, and he'll basically be almost just as good. Saquon, durability issues, of course. It's not really that bad. 16-13 towards ACL, 20-13-16. Yards, 1,300 yards. There's 1,300 yards last season. Makes sense to sign him, right? It's the running back position. And it's the sad truth. And it's not going to change. It's just not. I don't see it. And, they're one of the least paid positions in the league. I don't know what this is. It's written out. And yeah, it's the running back position. Too many good running backs. Guys that can do just as good for less money. It's not really just as good for a lot of these cases, but they can get the job done. A lot of these running backs. And, the Patriots. Damian Harris, contract over last year. Bye-bye. He's gone. And yeah, that's really it. Once Ramondre Stevenson, once his contract's up, Bill Belichick's going to say goodbye. You're going to draft a 4th rounder, get straight in. The Patriots need a backup running back in there. They tried out Leonard Fournette. They tried out Darrell Henderson. Those guys are old. They're older running backs. Actually, not. Darrell Henderson is like 25. But, Fournette's been in the league for a while. And it's just the position just won't get paid. I doubt it will change, like I said. I really don't. Zeke Elliott, not signed yet. Productive running back. Maybe showing a little bit of decline, but no team wants him. Dalvin Cook, I know he has off-field issues I saw this morning. He's not signed. He's a quality running back. He's a consistent running back. For the 10 millionth time in this video, there's too many good running backs. And that's what I'm going to end this video with. There's too many good running backs. Thank you, everybody, for watching Roller Sports Discussion. It's our first mainly football video. I don't know what these ads are. Probably cover that in the video. Let's grow. Let's keep growing. Shout out to everybody watching the videos. Thank you, 50 subscribers. Like we said in the last video. And we'll have a video posted very soon. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Bye.